This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook at audiblepodcast.com/TYT.
Well, the one guy who knows a lot about civil disobedience is Martin Luther King. And he also knows a lot about fighting for labor and unions. In fact, he was shot in Memphis when he went to go support a union strike. It was the garbage workers in Memphis, and he was there to support them when he was killed. Now, that's the reality. If you watch Fox News, you get a completely alternate version of reality. They're going to bring on Jessie Lee Peterson. You're familiar with this guy. He's Uncle Ruckus. He was on our program. And he's going to talk to Cavuto. They're going to have the most mind-bending conversation you've ever seen. Clip number 3.
The scene in Washington today and New York City right now. Angry union workers saying that they have had enough. That's okay. Here's what isn't. They're using MLK. 43 years to the day after he was gunned down. A union push that to many is over the top.
You know, if it's possible to turn over in your grave, I believe that Dr. King is turning over in his grave today. I was born on a plantation down in Alabama. I participated in the civil rights movement. I did sit-ins. And Dr. King was about uniting the races. He wasn't about dividing them. Dr. King believed that the same law that protected white Americans should protect black Americans. He wanted us to have the freedom to move about in this country. He was about morality and justice. And for Jesse Jackson and others to take his movement, to taste his purpose and use it for personal gain, I have to say, Neil, is nothing less than evil. Dr. King would not agree with this.
Dr. King loved the labor movement, loved the unions. That's not me saying it, it's Dr. King saying it. I've got a million quotes for you guys. I want to show you one more clip from those guys first, but he said things like, our needs are identical with labor's needs. And he said, we want decent wages, fair working conditions. He said, I do not speak for Negro workers only. A living wage should be the right of all working Americans. He talked about representing poor whites as well as poor blacks. Now they're going to go twist this, that Dr. King would be turning in his grave because people are saying he supported the unions. Look, let me give you one more clip from Fox News, and then I'm going to have more devastating quotes from Dr. King. Let's watch.
But, Reverend, to union workers who say that Martin Luther King would appreciate their fight, when in fact, you know, he went to Memphis, Tennessee to show support, they say, to municipal sanitation workers who were on strike at the time. Now,
right.
They say that he was sympathetic to the working man and that ipso facto he would be sympathetic to the working man public workers cause today. Do you buy that?
No. Dr. King was sympathetic to the black workers there because they were discriminated based on color alone, because they were black. Dr. King did not go there to give them support so that they could give power and control to the unions.
Okay, now you want to know what Dr. King actually said? Negroes are not the only poor in the nation. There are nearly twice as many white poor as Negro. Therefore, the struggle against poverty is not involved solely with color or racial discrimination, but with elementary economic justice. How clear did he have to be? And I gave you the earlier quote where he said, I do not speak only for Negro workers. Now, you want more quotes. Here's another one, longer one. Negroes in the United States read the history of labor and find it mirrors their own experience. We are confronted by powerful forces telling us to rely on the goodwill and understanding of those who profit by exploiting us. Here's another one. Labor's historic tradition of moving forward to create vital people as consumers and citizens has become our own tradition, and for the same reasons. You want another one, Reverend Peterson? Here's real history for you. Here's Dr. King saying, history is a great teacher. Now, everyone knows that the labor movement did not diminish the strength of the nation, but enlarged it. By raising the living standards of millions, labor miraculously created a market for industry and lifted the whole nation to undreamed levels of production. Those who attack labor forget these simple truths, but history remembers them. Unless you're on Fox News Channel, in which case they say, nope, it's the exact opposite. Martin Luther King wasn't for the labor movement. He wasn't for the unions. Even though there are pages and pages of quotes where Dr. King, as you just heard for yourself, says labor movement was absolutely critical and that he was in favor of it for blacks and whites and everybody else because it stood for economic justice. Don't ever believe anything you hear on Fox News.
If you don't feel like reading a book and you want to listen to it, all you got to do is go to audible.com and you can download a book onto your iPod or MP3 player. In fact, just the other day, I was listening to 1984, my favorite book. And they have over 75,000 titles to choose from. So you can get a free audiobook if you go to audiblepodcast.com/TYT.